time when I thought just snow and rain would keep me in the basement. Forgo riding outside. But times seem to have shifted a little bit, and air quality is now a bit of a concern. Not too sure if you follow Canadian news. We have some wildfires in the provinces of Manitoba and Saskatchewan, and that smoke is drifting across the country. It has been pretty bad the last few days. Environment Canada has requested that people do not do exercise outside or limit the exercise outside as much as possible for obvious reasons. But it seems to have dropped a little bit, so we're out for a ride. And the exciting news of the day is this.
Hello. Happy Sunday.
I was just telling them that the big news of the day is this.
Woohoo!
Lynda's out on a bike.
Yeah, it's actually just my third time riding outside. A combination of bad weather, bad shoulder has kept me in the basement. But, you know, I've been riding in the basement and going to the gym, and hopefully today is going to be a good day. We're a little bit worried. I'm a little bit scared. Anyways, so far so good. Here we are.
Awesome. So we're in the Gatineau Park. We're not doing a full loop today.
No.
We're just going to see how we do.
Yeah.
I've been up here quite a bit. Lynda has not been up here quite a bit.
No.
First ride of the year.
Up here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get her done.
Let's do it. Oh, one more thing. I want to talk about Lynda's new wheels at some point.
Ooh.
They are snappy. And
I am snappy now.
And she is snappier. We'll see. Topic this week, kits. What happened? I haven't bought a kit in a while. I say that. I bought a kit last year, I think, on sale. But I haven't been keeping up to date with all the pricing. There was a time where I thought Rafa was the pinnacle of cycling gear, but it seems to have been replaced by a few other contenders for the most expensive kit. I've tiered the selections here. I want to talk about the pricing delta for what is ostensibly the same material. One could argue, obviously, that you're buying into a lifestyle. More on that in a second. That's what you're paying for. But again, it's the same material. 3 tiers. Not exhaustive. I've picked 3 different brands for each tier. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Not been a great winter fitness-wise or training-wise for Lynda. If you follow the vlog at all, you know that she tore her rotator cuff, shoulder, muscles, ligaments. Finally getting into physio now and getting it sorted out. So that took its toll on her training. Also had a really bad bout of COVID. It's hard to get tested for COVID these days. It's harder to get the tests, but you know, all the symptoms were there, and it took her down. Really bad cough, burning lungs, all those good things. So it's been hard. She's doing great today though. Really surprised. It's riding in the Gatineau Park is a fitness tester at best because it's pretty lumpy. Made it back from the ride. Okay, real quick. New to Lynda, not new wheels. I should be clear about that. I used to own these. I used to run these as my gravel wheel set. Woven is an Ottawa company. I think the carbon fiber actually comes from China, as most carbon fiber wheels do. It's their hubs, again, probably from China. But they do a great job lacing these up. They're bomb-proof, awesome company. Woven Precision. If you know, you know. I think a set of these today will cost you around $1,500 plus tax. So they're not the cheapest wheels. But certainly compared to my MV 3.4s, they are a bargain. What are we looking at here? These are the Woven D35s, 21 millimeter depth on the rim, on the inside, and they are 35 millimeters deep. They are amazing. I was asking Lynda what she thought about. She had Mavic Axioms on here before, which are very heavy alloy wheels. She switched to these. She loves them. She can't pinpoint exactly what the difference is aside from weight, but she loves the feel of them. Running Pana Racer Gravel King 30 millimeters. Yeah, so and running tubeless. So obviously the big difference is carbon fiber, tubeless, and running a wider tire. All around great comfort, and certainly makes her bike way lighter. Okay, let's wrap this bad boy up. The original intent of this vlog was to talk about cycling kit. So let's jump in. Now, what I've done is, like I said right off the top, there's a couple of tiers that I'm looking at. The lower tier, the mid tier, and the upper tier, or tier 1. Purely subjective, and I'm basing this around the pricing of their most expensive items. So I went with bib shorts and jerseys. Let's start with the lower tier. I made some notes. So in the lower tier, I've put the following companies: Decathlon, Galabier, and NeoPro. These are fairly affordable. The Decathlon bibs are the Van Rysels. The top of their line are $110. I should state that this is all Canadian dollars and does not include taxes or shipping or duties. So Decathlon, $110 for their bibs, and the matching jersey is $90. So $200 for a kit. I think that's fairly reasonable. Galibier bibs are $166 Canadian, and the jersey is $90 for their ultra light version. So $250 or so for a full kit. Pretty reasonable. And finally, NeoPro. I'm not too sure if you've heard of these guys. They're kind of new kids on the block, as far as I can tell. They have a Nimbus jersey that's $62, and their cargo bibs are $110, so under $200 for their kit. Again, without tax and without shipping. Mid-tier, I'm going with Pearl Izumi, POC, and Craft. Again, purely subjective, not exhaustive. The mid-tier could be stacked full of many different companies. But just to give you an idea of how the pricing stacks. So we went from Decathlon, Galabier, and NeoPro, which is around $200, a little over $200 for a full kit, bibs and jerseys. With the mid-tier, Pearl Izumi, their Expedition bibs, Pro Expedition bibs, and Pro Expedition jersey. It's $400 for the bibs and $220 for the jersey. So that's $620. POC, the Cadence bibs are $200, and the jersey, it's called their Pristine jersey, is $180. So $380. For Craft, the bibs, their ADV Aero bibs are $200, and the jersey is their Pro Aero version, and that's $150. So $350. So there is about a $200 jump there from the lower tier to the mid tier. Now let's get into the meat. The upper echelon of cycling kit. Now this is the part that really blows my mind. Quick story for you. Years ago, I was shopping for a BMW. Why was I shopping for a BMW? I'm not too sure. But the point of the story is I went in and I asked the sales guy about the price of this BMW, and he said, you know what? It's not about the price of the car. You're not buying a car per se. What you're doing is you're buying into a lifestyle. And I'm like, okay, that's all well and good, but I don't think my bank manager is going to let me buy into a lifestyle. So I think what I'm trying to get at is these top tier kits are very expensive, but you are buying into the labels. You really are. Because the kits themselves, the jerseys and the bibs, are all made out of the same material. They are elastane and polyester blends. Now the difference may come in how the different companies choose to use those materials, whether they're lighter, whether they're heavier, they're thicker in some places, there's more compression in the bibs, there's more panels in the bibs, but at the end of the day, kids, these, whether you spend $100 on them or whether you spend $500 on them, they're all made out of the same materials. Okay, I digress. Upper echelon. The three companies I chose were Rapha. I could have easily picked a few others like Paranormal Studios, but I went with Rapha, I went with Café du Cycliste, and I went with Velocio. Bibs. If you want the Pro Team bibs from Rapha, it's going to cost you 425 bucks Canadian. The jersey Pro Team is 355 bucks. So you're looking just south of $1,000 for, with shipping and stuff, for the Rapha top of the line kit. It gets better. Café du Cycliste, the bibs, they are $465. $465 Canadian for bib shorts. The jersey, their top of the line jersey is $305. So again, just south of $1,000 for the Café du Cycliste top of the line kit. The Velocio, which I think is an Italian company, very nice stuff. All of this stuff is super sexy. The bibs are $378 for their top of the line bibs. And for the jersey, it's $236. So a little bit cheaper than Rapha and Café du Cycliste, but not much more. And at least $400, $500 more expensive than the lower tier Decathlon, Galibier, or Neopro. That's a lot of money. One more thing before we wrap up. I have a box. I have blown my cycling budget for 2025. What did I blow it on? You're gonna have to wait for next week. We will regroup. Have a great week. Take care.